record holder for the most yards ever passing in a single game, Rohan Davey. Emmitt Smith joins us in studio.
It's the first time I played in such a place that had that much noise.
Jacques, throw a rock and you'll hit a 3-star cornerback in Louisiana.
Jacques Talk is sponsored by Locke Meredith Injury Lawyers.
Well, this is certainly a treat. This guy right here is certainly one of the more well-known people when it comes to LSU, talking LSU athletics, and he hasn't appeared on any kind of platform at all in 10 months. Jordy Culotta?
10 months. 10 months, Jacques. It's great to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, absolutely.
I look forward to the discussion today. Of course, Jordy worked at Eagle, or 104.5 across the street, and then started a very successful show on his own. And what are you doing now?
I'm in medical sales. I work for a great company out of Charleston, South Carolina, Salus Scientific, and we are in radiation protection. So anybody who deals with fluoroscopy, anybody who wears lead, I'm dealing with. So it's been fun. It's been very different. It's been, my background's always been sales. So medical sales is obviously something with an incredible ceiling. It's a great industry, and it's been great to learn. But, this is my background. This is what I've always loved and been a part of.
Well, we got so much to talk about.
We do.
So much to talk about.
I'm looking forward to it.
And Lloyd and Noah took over your show. They're doing a great job there.
Doing a great job. Guys are doing a great job. And carrying that on. And then Boot Crew Media was the ones who stepped up and purchased the social media and the YouTube page. And, they're kind of running that now, and they're doing a fantastic job with it. So it was cool, and to see Noah and Lloyd and that crew just kind of keeping it carrying on has been fun.
Yeah. All right. Lane Kiffin is the LSU head football coach. I walked up to Michael Bonnet yesterday after all the dust had settled after the press conference, LSU's longtime sports information director, and said, Lane Kiffin is your head football coach. He goes, I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
I thought about Bonnet, really, when all this went down. I mean, you think about the book he'll be able to write now, 10, 15 years from now, working with guys like Saban and even DiNardo, right? I mean, he started with.
I think so, yeah. He goes. That's right about his pocket, I think.
I think right in the office of DiNardo, and then Saban comes in, and then Les Miles, and obviously then you go to Orgeron and all the national championships, and Brian Kelly, and now to be working with Lane Kiffin. I mean, Michael Bonnet has got incredible stories that he will be able to tell one day, just by the personality he's been walking side by side with.
Yeah. Well, all those coaches, you feel like you're like, there's only one guy like him. Like, there's only one guy like Nick. There's only one Les Miles. There's only one Ed Orgeron.
That's right.
And Kiffin is a very unique personality.
Without question. I think, I think that's what is so polarizing about him is his personality, right? I mean, you either love him or hate him. And I think, we've seen that up close in the just kind of the fallout of since LSU has made the move and since the announcement has gone down. I've always been a fan of his. I've always been somebody that's been attracted to his type of personality. He's been somebody, in my opinion, that's very comparable to like a Will Wade. They don't run from the challenges. They are very honest about what the challenges are in front of them. And Kiffin has always struck me as someone that's very similar to that. I thought his press conference was kind of on that line, on that record. I think he's a great fit at LSU.
I think he appeals to the part of us who never want to grow up.
Yeah.
Like, he has always kind of seemed like a guy that can thumb his nose at authority.
Yeah.
Sometimes he rolls into SEC media days, and it was like, was he just up all night on a bender or something like that,
right. Yeah.
But then a brilliant mind who can get in there and win games. And like you said about Will Wade, Will Wade would talk about NIL and transfer portal, and he'd say, look, these are the rules of engagement. We either get on board or we get left behind. And Lane Kiffin, I think, too, has said, is it good for college football that the roster is turning over 60, 70 guys a year? Probably not, but this is what it is.
In the same way that he was hired, Jacques. I think it's going to be an issue and a debate that lasts long past this year, right, until there's some type of resolution to it. But if these are the rules and this is how the calendar is laid out, it's not Lane Kiffin's fault that he's at the top of the list. At this cycle, he's the number one name, and this is how the business is conducted in college football. Whoever wrote these rules, it seems mindless, it seems dumb, it seems stupid, but this is the way it's presented. Kiffin's name's at the top of the list. This is how the business was going to go down, and it sucks. You know, it's terrible that a sitting coach has to be taken off of his team during the regular season or with more games left to play. But whoever wrote the rules, whoever wrote the guidelines, set it up like this. Kiffin's at the top of the list. LSU's looking for a coach. He was going to jump. He was going to come, like that was going to happen, whether it happened on December 1st or whether it happened on January 12th.
Yeah, it was going to be messy.
Yes.
No matter what.
I agree.
Unless he just said from the get-go, I'm staying. But
yeah.
The calendar is messed up. We all know that.
Yeah.
It used to be signing day was the first Wednesday in February, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
I remember one day covering signing day and then the Saints won the Super Bowl the next Sunday.
And usually like LSU basketball was playing that night at
Correct.
home, if you remember. So, I mean, it was like, and they were like in conference play.
Right,
SEC
play.
It was deep into conference season. So, the way that the rules are written now and the way that the calendar lines up it makes zero sense. It is just almost it's criminal, really. I mean that these people have to be put in these positions, and I'm talking about everybody from Keith Carter, the AD at Ole Miss, who's in a terrible situation. Lane Kiffin's in a spot where I want this job and I want to stay with my team. The players are either committed to Kiffin, Ole Miss, or to their squad. I mean, it's just it's a bad deal, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it.
Well, I remember when this early signing day started, and I thought about the wives of the coaches. Like, are you ever off? Like, I think the first one was like December 20th or something. It was right before Christmas time. So now we got this early signing day, and that screws everything up in terms of it used to be. I don't think it's good for college football if your team loses 2 or 3 games. That okay, now the season's over and we got nothing to look forward to with this playoff. And now do we have to hit eject on the coach before signing day and all that? But just real quick on the calendar, I thought Saban made some good points in terms of it'd be nice. Okay, let's scrap spring football. And from a perspective, me trying to cover sports, there's so much going on in March. I would not mind that being in May.
Right.
Do that in May during bat and ball season, so to speak, softball. Yeah. Give them off June and July, bring them back in August, and get rid of the early signing period and the mid-semester enrollees. I don't guess we're getting that horse back in the barn.
No, not at all. And it's time to put people like him in charge. It's time to get people who are athletic directors and administrators who are just really kind of grabbing a check on this playoff committee or overseeing the game to get out of the way. It now is time for people like Nick Saban, Urban Meyer, Kirk Herbstreit, people who are invested in the game, understand what the well-being of the game looks like, to be the one who authors the rules, to be the one that is saying, look, this is how we need to abide. This is how the rules of engagement need to be written, because as they're written right now, it's just you're taking one of the best teams, one of the teams that has a chance to win it, and you're handicapping them. I mean, does anybody really believe that Lane Kiffin's old squad, Ole Miss, has any chance in the playoff? I do not. Mm-hmm. And not just because Kiffin's gone. That's a huge part of it. But he shredded the offensive staff. Not only is Kiffin gone, I mean, he's taken 6 guys with him. And for Ole Miss to think that they have a plausible shot against a team that stayed intact, no distractions, it's just it's an unfair task.
But just imagine if we, like Saints fans, like if Sean Payton was 13-3 going to the playoffs, and he's leaving to become the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys and leaving the team. What?
Right. Right. I mean,
that's the NFL. You can't talk to guys until the season's over. Let that cycle play out.
And for the people to be overseeing that and say that this was a good idea, like to not think that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
For everybody to be so shocked that this is how. I mean, come on, this is how the rules are written. At some point, you knew Kiffin was going to jump.
Yeah.
You knew he was going to go.
And I feel, that's a tough spot for Kiffin. I was joking. There was a song in the 90s, one hit wonder, Torn, Natalie and Bert. There's nothing where it used to lie. He mentioned Torn like several times yesterday. I'm torn, and look, he's been a head coach for a while now. He finally is the head coach of a team going to playoffs, and he's got to leave it. And that's a tough thing, I defended Brian Kelly years back when he came here. People said, how could he leave that Notre Dame team? He has to. He can't stay there, and I feel bad for Kiffin, but there's no way he can walk around with an LSU shirt for a couple days. Signing day, I'm going back to Oxford, put my red on, and I'm coaching Ole Miss.
I see Ole Miss's side. We can't let the LSU head football coach spend a month in our building coaching our team. It can't do that. It makes zero sense. So, I see both sides, but there has to be somebody that's accountable here, and it's the people that are writing the rules for this. And they need to look at this situation, these examples, because it's going to happen again next year. If this is the rule that's in place, whoever's the top target, whoever's the top guy, look how many teams in the SEC moved off of their coach. People are in a win now mode. Yeah. So, if there is somebody at the top of the mountain that say we can go get, hey, look, they're going to cut bait in mid-November, and they're going to try to get them before the signing day.
Yeah. So you thought Kiffin did well at his press conference?
I thought so. I don't know if Kiffin ever is going to dominate that scene.
Yeah.
To me, he strikes me very much as just get me behind the door. Let me get to a whiteboard. Let's write up plays. Let's talk football. Get me in that element. That's where I'm going to be the most comfortable, the most relatable, the most likable, probably. Yeah. I thought Monday's press conference was as good as it could have gone. I think he had some canned lines that he was going to go in there with, that he wanted to make sure he had to get out, that Ole Miss heard, that he respected Keith Carter, he respected the process, he respected the decision-making, but he also got his point across about what he wanted to accomplish during that time. He wanted to take the LSU job, and he wanted to coach his team.
Yeah,
I think that's – I get that. I also understand from Ole Miss's side that was never going to happen. I also understand from Verge and LSU side that they were saying, hell yeah, go coach, because every time they show you, they're going to say there's LSU's head coach.
Right.
It was going to be great publicity for LSU, but in the grand scheme of it, that's impossible. And as far as the press conference was concerned, I thought he got pretty organic when he talked about Ed Ogeron. Mm-hmm. He talked about his experiences in Tiger Stadium with the both overtime games, when he was an assistant in Alabama, when he was the head coach 2 years ago with Ole Miss. You could hear how he felt about the place. And, I remember talking to Ed Ogeron when Ed was here and Ed was trying to get the job. And a huge selling point to Joe Oliva and the board of directors was that Lane Kiffin was going to be his play caller.
At Ogeron's press conference, when he was introduced, I think Ogeron said, we're going to bring in the best play caller in the country.
He did. He absolutely did.
And he was talking about Lane Kiffin.
He absolutely did. And behind the scenes, I don't know if everybody understands how that really went. Nick Saban shut that down. Mm-hmm. Nick Saban looked at the possibility of that and said, hey, look, Lane's going to get over there, and 2 years into it, they're going to say, forget about Ed. Let Lane run it, and that's going to be bad for us, because Nick Saban has always understood, which I think Lane pretty much said yesterday, has always told his inner circle, LSU's the best job. If you get the right guy and everybody can get on the same page, from the governor to the chancellor to the president to the AD to the head coach, look out.
Yeah.
Because you've got a recruiting territory, you've got a fan base, you've got everything from a support system already built in, that if you get it right, you could reel off a dynasty-type deal. And I think, Saban is the one that really kind of told him the Ole Miss and the LSU job are not even in the same stratosphere. It's not even – if you say you want to get to the mountaintop, you want to be the lead dog, you're the best coach in the cycle, you need to go to LSU.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that he really got across in the press conference yesterday. And Ogeron, going back to what I was saying, Ogeron has always said that Lane Kiffin has known that. And I think that's from his days inside the walls of Alabama, where Saban has told his top lieutenants, his top confidants that, Alabama's, I've seen these people like Paul Feinbaum has obviously got his feelings hurt that Lane Kiffin took the job and he's saying he'll go to Alabama. That's not true. If Alabama, I've got news for the Alabama fan base. If Alabama was open right now, Lane Kiffin would not take that job, because the dirty little secret about Alabama is they don't have any money. They don't have millionaires that support Alabama football. They had millionaires in the state that supported Nick Saban.
Yeah.
But since he's left, they're really trying to raise money, really trying to get into people's pockets. And they're seeing that the deepest pockets in the state are with Auburn. And there was a lot of loyalty to Saban. I mean, if you remember the big ship guy in Mobile, Angus, who ended up, he sponsored the Senior Bowl. He was kind of like the Ben Bordelon of Alabama. He's a big ship guy, right?
Right.
No ties to Alabama football, no ties to Alabama, but he was the one that was paying for all those Alabama championship teams because he was invested with Saban. Since Saban's gone, he's like, well, I'm not paying to lose to Vanderbilt. You know what I mean? So I think.
And we got more money than I expected too. I'm like, where is this all coming from?
The last month, Jacques, I have learned that LSU was flush with cash. Like these contracts, like I was one of the ones when I had the show was like, where is all this money? There's no way this is Todd Graves. There's no way this is Brandon Landry and Bordelon and
Gordon and the usual.
Holton Spate, who's a new name that just popped up, a guy who loves LSU football out in San Francisco. It can't be these guys cutting these checks. It's the oil and gas money. It's the people on the field. It's the people on the collar. It's the people. If you go into I started paying attention to it. You go into the dome, you see all these ribbons running around the dome of oil and gas. It's like, okay, now I start to see. You tell these guys, you tell these people, hey, we'll help you out on the state tax. You know, if you're the governor. They save you a couple billion. I just need $25 million.
All for a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds to win a football game to make me feel happy.
That's it. Isn't it?
And I'm just wondering, in the grand scheme of things, what's the difference between LSU 7-5 and LSU 10-2 and making a playoff in terms of financial gain? I mean, all this money being thrown. Are we going to recoup all this some way?
No way.
By the time we're done with Brian Kelly, by the time we're still not done with Ed Ogeron.
You get one more payment.
One more month, I think.
Yeah.
And now paying Kiffin. And then the roster, $30 million into the roster, I've heard, or whatever it's going to be. It's
I don't think
insanity.
So. I don't think that you ever recoup it.
No.
I don't think there's ever any return on the dollar on this. I think it's about the spirits of Saturday night.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. I think it's about the spirits of the fall. I mean, of just look at this place, look at the town when you're irrelevant.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that feeling it gives you, right? I think it happened one time during the Brian Kelly regime, and that was when they beat Alabama his first year.
Yeah.
A win like that is like this natural narcotic.
Sure.
That just lifts everyone, that makes 70, 80-year-olds stay up till 4 a.m. after that and celebrate and carries you for days.
And really something that this place has not tasted since or only started to taste 25 years ago. You know, I mean, really.
Yeah, it's been up and down.
I don't think LSU fans really ever had that expectation until you tasted 2000 to 2005 where you were like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like 1958. That was a million years ago. That's
different
not
game.
Not going to happen again. Type thing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point in my life where I never thought I'd see LSU win a championship.
Yeah,
you know, like when I was in high school, early college, and then 2001 comes along where LSU wins the league, and you're like, well, they can beat Tennessee, like they can play with the big boys, and now there's an expectation, and there's this standard set where you don't settle for. I mean, for as bad as it got under Brian Kelly, you still look at his record.
71% winning percentage, and he was 2-1 in the SEC, basically.
Right. I mean, but there's a feeling there. There was this
bottoming out.
There was this feeling of this is not it.
Well, Verge talked about that yesterday. Verge Osbury, who we need to talk about, who I think is one of the more fascinating storylines of this whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
You know, Verge has always been in the band.
That's right.
But he's been playing the drums in the back. He's never been the front man.
Which I think he loved that position. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did it well. Right. I mean, we always simplistically, he was the football scheduling guy for the most part. We would go talk to him about football scheduling and stuff. I joked with Verge. I said it was a lot easier to get interviews with you, like a month ago, or 2 months ago, whatever the case may be. You know, I usually text Verge, call him, here right back.
Instant.
Not anymore.
Instant.
So Verge is pushed to the front. And at first we're like, is he the AD? Is he the interim AD? There was kind of some sloppy communication there in the beginning, and not blaming anybody.
Yeah.
Wade Roos, by the way, had a conversation with him before the LSU-Oklahoma game in Norman. Just wonderful dude. Just so down to earth, nicest guy in the world. Told me he grew up in the Ed Ogeron area down Lafourche.
Yep.
And he said, well, I dreamed I was going to be an LSU football player, and I had to settle for going to McNeese, and I found out I wasn't good enough to play at McNeese either. And but the coach at the time told me, you're going to get your education. Sonny Jackson.
Okay.
Hud is his son. Did I get that reversed? Anyway, but great conversation with Wade Roos. So, Verge, I mean, this is a huge spot. There's no bigger spot as an athletic director than hiring a head football coach, especially at a time like this. And we don't know how many games Lane Kiffin's going to win. But Verge was given a responsibility, and he didn't do it on his own. As Charles Hannegriff said, nobody hires an LSU football coach on his own. But Verge, with his team, one target, kind of like Kim Mulkey, right?
Absolutely.
One target, they found it, hired.
Deserves a ton of credit. I mean, an enormous amount of credit. And somebody who, when you look back at this time period of LSU athletics, has been here for all of it. I mean, somebody who has lived through all of this success that LSU has seen the last 25 years, and now to be put into position where, it seemed like a time that there was a fork in the road for LSU football. I mean, when Brian Kelly was let go.
Yeah.
Because I thought if they missed on Kiffin, they were going to get into a tailspin. Mm-hmm. Like where you're just kind of throwing darts here. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I joke, it's kind of like the presidential election. Every one is the most important of our lifetime.
right.
That's what we always say. I mean, Kelly, we came in.
Same thing.
The roster was bare, bad spot.
Same thing.
Ogeron did not leave this place in a good spot.
That's right.
As much as we enjoyed covering him and enjoy him. Anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No. And I think the task that Verge was given, first off, the way he got the job, I think you're exactly right. I mean, a lot of people were like, what? I mean, like, you hadn't even announced the president yet. Like, there wasn't even
an 8 a.m. press conference on Halloween on a Friday. It was strange.
It was just very quirky. You know, I mean, it was very weird, and it left me thinking that the coaching search was going to be a debacle.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna get this right. If they're not gonna be able to get this right? I mean, it's only you can only expect Sexton and Kiffin to be questioning, like, what am I, like, hang on.
The whole week leading into that, Sunday, the day after the LSU A&M debacle,
Sure.
in which they fire Brian Kelly, which felt like an emotional decision.
Yeah, definitely.
Then our governor is at a press conference about food stamps or whatever and just blasts the athletic director, Scott Woodward. And you and I have talked in previous months where we've kind of like, yeah, I'm hearing some things about Scott Woodward that, he's not maybe on as solid ground as maybe some people think. And, they won't know.
Boom.
The next day.
Whack. I mean, like, oh, my gosh.
So the next morning, I think I had gone to the Paul McCartney show on Wednesday in New Orleans. I'm told you need to go to the Kim Mulkey press conference tonight because she's going to have some stuff to say about this. Like, she's not going to blast people specifically, but it's going to be kind of a
process.
I'm from Louisiana, and this is embarrassing. This whole thing is embarrassing. LSU's playing Nobody University in women's basketball, and during that night, the news breaks, Woodward's out. Mulkey's supposed to go to the post-game press conference.
Show.
I don't want to say I cover women's basketball, but the only reason I was there that night was for that press conference.
Right.
We'll take a couple clips off of YouTube or Twitter and put it up. LSU won by 100. Okay.
Sure.
But, and I'm sitting in the post-game press conference with Scarborough, and then that back door is open, and I see Mulkey go down the hall. I'm like, she ain't talking. And here comes Starkey, who I love Bob Starkey, but I'm like,
what a tough spot that was. I mean, like, I was watching that presser like, damn, Coach, you earning it tonight.
Yeah. And he said some good things.
He did.
But, I think Mulkey was told, look, you don't want to be the next person on the hit list.
Yeah.
Don't go out there and
if you're
going to go Kim Mulkey.
Yeah, just go home. Just go home.
So all that leading up that weekend, I guess that was Thursday, and then the Friday morning was Verge and all that. So yes, that whole week was very like we're not on the right path. It didn't feel like
At all. At all. And then, the governor, who I think has had an incredible redemption story over the last 2 weeks. I mean, he was going down a funnel of not being reelected, of losing the state. I mean, the one thing you really don't want to mess with is LSU football, right? Yeah. I mean, he had put his hands all up in the cookie jar, and now it was a disaster. I mean, the battlefield was just blasted, and it was all
the national talk.
It looked like his hands were all over it, right? Where he had not only lost respect throughout the country, but the state where he was kind of losing, and I think he realized that. And like I said, I think the last 2 weeks have been incredible for him. I think he's gotten himself reelected. But the way that Verge handled all of that, I think we've forgotten about that now that he's landed Kiffin, right? I mean, he had to navigate through who am I reporting to? What's my role? How is this going to work? To having the responsibility of bringing in, because you're right, the most important job detail of an LSU athletic director is going to be at some point on your clock, you're going to be responsible for hiring or firing a football coach, probably both.
Mm-hmm. And typically you only get that opportunity once.
And you only get one swing at it, right? I mean, I think, what's happening over Florida with Scott Strickland, that's very rare.
Correct.
Very rare for him to get multiple opportunities to fail, bring another guy in. That doesn't happen. It's usually like Woodward, where Woodward – 90% success rate on the people that he's brought in.
Yeah.
I mean, from Mulkey to Jay Johnson to the swim coach to gymnastics to all of that.
And everybody can say now, it's easy, just like Monday morning quarterback, I knew Brian Kelly wasn't going to work. Well, Can two things be true? Can it be a pretty good hire and then it didn't work?
Sure. And that's where I am. If rewind the tape, I wanted Kiffin in 21. But I thought when he brought Kelly in, it was a solid hire. It was somebody that really made sense for where LSU football was, in my opinion. I just thought that that's kind of what they needed at that point. And then you learn the things you did about him on the job, and it didn't fit. It didn't.
From afar, he looked like a buttoned-up CEO, organizational. I remember the first practices, he's out there writing things down, and it
helmets
looks
on,
good.
Don't sit on your head. He was cleaning everything up.
Yeah. We don't need to practice for 3 hours. We need to have concise practices and whatnot. And we'll get back to Verge and everything. But I'm wondering over the next several years, when Kiffin takes this thing over, Brian Kelly's going to be kicking himself about, I did not maximize this opportunity.
I was saying it while he was in it. He is going to look at this and think, the Jaden Daniels team alone has got to keep him up at night. With Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Jaden Daniels. You're kidding me, right? Like that team didn't make a playoff. Right. For us to say it, think if you were the head coach of that team, right? Where I could go out and pay players, I could go get people, and I let that team walk.
Yeah.
Right.
Jaden Daniels, the classiest guy in the world, he would never say it, but he's got to be thinking, golly,
oh my gosh,
if I would have had just the defense this year, or
middle of the pack.
Make them punt twice.
Middle of the pack. Two stops. If that was your team, that got to keep you up at night.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think the further he gets away from the LSU job, he is going to look at the opportunity that he wasted because, for all intents and purposes, it's over for him. Right? He may go get another gig somewhere, but he's not going to be in an environment or a place where he has the ability to win a national championship. And if I'm 35 years into any trade and I haven't seen the mountaintop, that's going to be some sleepless nights as I kind of get further away from it, even if I've stacked my bank account with $100 million.
It feels very Les Miles in terms of, I think Les, it's been reported he's had some health issues perhaps and whatnot. But when Les left LSU, he sat out for, a year and a half, and then Kansas, who's one of the worst programs in the country, and his buddy was there.
His best friend.
Hired him.
Jeff Long.
Yeah. And you just kind of wonder, I think Brian Kelly is in a better position than that, but maybe not a ton.
I agree. I think he's probably a couple of clicks ahead of where the Kansas program was there. I heard his name popping up for the Michigan State program. I know they've hired Pat Fitzgerald since then. I thought that was probably
back up north.
That's probably where Wisconsin, Michigan State, one of those types of Iowa State type of programs is where he would land next. But he's got to look at the opportunity that he left here at LSU, and I think that's what Kiffin saw. That's what people see in LSU. where it doesn't really matter how screwed up it looks from the outside. Like if I can get in there and see that they're everybody's kind of aligned. They brought the word align yesterday. You can hear people on the page. You got the support. We can win there.
Yeah.
I think that's what Kiffin sees. I'm not worried about the governor holding a press conference. I'm not worried about what they're going to do with the administration. Are they going to support football?
Yeah.
And they will support football every single time you get the right guy in. And Kiffin feels like, kind of the one you've been waiting on. Not to say Kelly wasn't the guy. I agree with you. There was a part of it where this kind of feels right. This might work.
Right.
This might work.
Right.
The Orgeron thing was kind of like, it might work real quick. And it didn't, if you remember. Like, it was like a disaster.
Yeah, Troy. Yeah.
It was a disaster. And then it kind of like, okay, well, maybe. And then, no, it's not going to work. The Les Miles was just kind of a roller coaster of it's working. It's not going to work. It's working again. It's not going to work. Kiffin feels like a guy that can kind of come in where Saban had it, where it was a steady force, beast, intimidating for people to look at and see that LSU's got the guy where year in, year out, they're going to be a trouble. They're going to be.
Yeah, and I definitely want to talk a lot more about Kiffin than Kelly, but Saban and LSU were the perfect marriage. Yep. They elevated each other together because when Saban came here, LSU fans looked at his record and Jerry DiNardo's, and it was pretty much the same.
That's right.
To me, it always kind of reminded me of when Drew Brees came to New Orleans. You looked at Aaron Brooks and Drew Brees, and it was kind of like, Brees is a little bit better, but Brooks were done with him because of his attitude and smiling after fumbles and all that. But and then Les Miles was a 28-21 coach at Oklahoma State in 4 years. He won almost 80% of his games. He won a national title. He put LSU in another national title game. He had a lot of strong football teams. Did I sound like Les Miles there? Strong.
Quality.
Frank Wilson.
He does. He got a lot to
drops
him.
a lot of Les Miles.
I like us.
Yeah, I like us.
He does that. I like us.
I think he said one time an interesting piece.
Yes, he does.
Interesting piece.
You can tell he comes from the College of Les.
A want, I think he said.
We'll have a want when we get off the bus.
Yeah,
Like,
Les never said holistically, however.
Yeah.
Frank has dropped that one a few times. That's a good word. Yeah. And then obviously Ed Orgeron was 10-25 at Ole Miss. It was a disaster, and you would never say there's the coach of the greatest team of all time coming up.
Never, but he is.
He is. I mean, no matter what you want to say
That's
about
right.
the guy,
that's right.
He's Mike Ditka. Like Ditka's the coach of the '85 Bears. Ed Orgeron's head coach of the 2019
Never take it away
Tigers.
from him.
Yep.
Never take it away from him.
He could make money. I mean, he's got plenty of money, I think. But he could make money on signings and public appearances. There will be LSU fans lining up with stuff to sign, pictures to take.
And I think he would come back as a defensive line coach.
That's an interesting piece.
I think he would. I think he would do it with Lane Kiffin. I think he does. I think Lane Kiffin gave a little inside look into how Orgeron really feels about LSU, no matter what went down, no matter how it went down, no matter what people say about him, no matter what the message boards think about him. Ed Orgeron loves LSU. He loves LSU as if none of that ever happened. He loves it as much as he did before he even took the job. And you heard that with Kiffin telling that story yesterday, where he's like, trying to be funny, trying to be, hey, I'm channeling you, Ed. I'm looking at and Ed like, you're at the best place in the country. You're at the best job in the country. Like, son, you made it.
And many LSU fans were like, okay, this isn't going to work, Ed, anymore. But man, Kiffin as the head coach and Orgeron as an assistant, they will
clean up. Clean up.
And I'm just thinking about that group of LSU fans who wear the play neck T-shirts and the STTDB T-shirts, and they are going. Kiffin is their dream.
My God, I mean, he's their leader. I mean, they're saluting to Lane every morning, and to a degree, Jacques, I think LSU. They need people like that not sometimes a little too far into the scale, but somebody who embraces what LSU is.
Yes.
A little bit of
we need some dog.
Dirty politics.
Yeah.
A little bit of maybe not playing by all the rules, but somebody you're going to be scared to death to come in here and play on a Saturday night, and when they get off the bus, no matter where, no matter what sport, you're going to have to buckle it up. Yeah. And I think that's what Kiffin gives. He brings you back that, oh, shit, LSU's LSU.
Yeah.
I think there's a.
I just got visions of him wearing purple in a visor, and LSU dials up some great offensive play, and the place goes nuts, and he's pumping his fist. And
can you imagine if he buys a Tiger?
He buys a Tiger.
Did you see he was Googling his first night here? Like,
is that
how
right?
to purchase a Tiger. I mean, like, if he's walking around like Mike Tyson in the 80s with a chain and a tiger, I mean, like, this is stuff that could happen. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I was just in Norman, Oklahoma, and I must say I was fairly impressed with how they come out of the tunnel with those horses in that wagon.
Yeah.
And they
cut that U.
And they cut it, and they're going pretty fast into that narrow tunnel. And I'm like, well, I hope no one's standing down there. They're going to
because they have flipped it before.
Yes.
And that was a bad scene.
That was a bad scene. So we can now have Lane Kiffin, not on Omar Bradley, but another Tiger coming into Tiger Stadium. Hey, they got the Colorado Buffalo, right?
I just think that LSU thrives with people like Will Wade, thrives with people like Lane Kiffin. I mean, there's a reason why Will was so beloved when he was here. He wasn't that successful of a coach on the floor. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was getting to the Final Four. It wasn't like he was making runs. He was getting you to the tournament. He was competitive.
Packing the building.
He was putting people in the seats.
Yep.
He was putting people into the league.
Made you matter.
There was he's ours behind him.
Right.
Where I think Kiffin, it's only going to take him a couple of months on the job. Where you see him on the sideline with the visor, with the quarter zip, with the press conferences where you're like, that's our dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's the dude. That's the guy. You know what I mean? Everybody else hates him. We love that.
Yeah. I still remember when LSU basketball pulled off that win against Tennessee, and Will Wade grabbed the mic. And
Hell yeah.
Love Louisiana.
Saturday morning.
Boot up!
Was it Saturday morning, like 11 a.m. game?
Yeah.
Yeah, Javonte Smart and those guys.
Smart.
I mean, that was kind of like this is Will Wade's program.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Tennessee top 5 team, and they
Absolutely.
beat them, and packed house, and I remember Pastime Pizza. We're opening early, and all that. Yeah, it was that was a Dale Brownish type.
It was,
atmosphere.
And you look at this schedule coming up, Jacques, in 26. I mean,
for LSU football,
hell yeah. I mean,
the home schedule.
The home schedule might be the best in a decade.
Texas A&M.
Alabama,
Ole
Miss. I mean, no, the Mississippi schools are there, but you have one more.
Clemson, the opener.
Clemson.
The opener. Is he going to do National Guard when he goes to Oxford next year?
I think he's going to have. I mean, if you look at the way that Chris Beard went back to Texas Tech in basketball, I think it's going to be very similar to that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very similar when Saban came back here in 2008. That was the most hostile environment I've ever seen in Tiger Stadium. I mean, there were people that you thought if he gets his hands on them, Saban's in trouble. I mean,
where they were burning.
They were
Saban
burning.
in.
Remember they had the billboard right before the bridge.
It was a.
They had did they have a noose?
Apartment complex or something. Yeah, I remember I did the story.
It was bad. It was, and I think
And that was Saban going to Miami for 2 years.
Right.
And then going to Alabama.
Like he had come back to Tiger Stadium with the Dolphins, where they threw him a parade.
Yeah,
they were. It was Nick Saban Day. I remember being there, and that was the day Benson was cussing you out, cussing the cameras out.
Not me. It was Lee Zurich.
Yeah,
WWL. You a prick. That's what you are.
That's right.
And he swung and he hit the camera.
That's right.
And I remember being annoyed by that because I grew up a Saints fan. I grew up in Louisiana, and I remember some people saying we're going to root for the Dolphins because Nick Saban's the coach. I'm like, oh God, that's so lame. The
San Antonio Saints.
The San Antonio Saints. I remember the mayor of San Antonio going on TV he was publicly trying to loot the team.
Man. He was all in. Alamo Dome's ready.
Yeah. Why are they playing in Tiger Stadium? They should play all their games here.
But I think Saban, his heel turn here, he tipped it. To me, he tipped it off on game day.
I saw when you tweeted that
Kiffin had taken the job.
Yeah, when he said why won't they let him coach?
He kind of freaked out. He was kind of like, I don't understand it. It was like, well, he's not this passionate if he doesn't know something.
Yeah.
And it was very obvious after hearing Kiffin yesterday on Monday that Nick Saban was like, Lane, don't overthink this.
Yeah.
Like LSU is the job.
Right.
LSU is the one that if you are who you say you are, you have to take.
Yeah.
And I think that, Saban's sit down with Ryan Clark on his podcast where he admitted that the biggest mistake he'd ever made was leaving and taking the Miami job. He wished he would have stayed at LSU. I think that was kind of the first time I had heard him say that out loud, and now this stuff with Kiffin, you can tell he still has a special place in his heart for it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not trying to whatever, but in 2007, this is before the rise of Twitter and everything.
That's right.
I went to Tuscaloosa that week, and I stayed there pretty much the whole week leading into the first Saban Bowl, so to speak. Les
The
Miles.
Chad Jones knock fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early Doucet.
Early Jacob Hester.
Hester. Yeah, I mean, LSU was exponentially more talented.
They were 17-3.
17-3. They
Tyson
should have blown
Jackson
up.
He got a rough in the passer, and it
Lots
kept
of
them
penalties.
alive.
Lots of penalties.
Got a touch, and that got them back. They should have blown them.
They should have blown them.
They should have
LSU,
blown them out.
the roster shouldn't have been close. But in typical Les Miles fashion, it was a lot more interesting.
One possession game.
Yeah. They could have lost.
Arlie scored on fourth down.
4th and 4, 5, 6.
On a play that,
yeah.
I mean, this close to getting picked.
Yeah.
This close to getting picked off.
Yeah.
It was almost kind of like, I couldn't believe he came out of it.
That was the week of the varsity fight.
That's right. Ryan Paralleau.
Paralleau was suspended.
Glenn Dorsey was there.
There were a lot of people there.
Dorsey was there.
I remember my guy.
Did that video ever make it out?
I think some people in some high places,
but it never made it to like you're you.
No,
that's right.
No.
That's right. They shut that thing down.
Oh yeah,
quick.
That was what was it? Scandal. What did Kerry Washington play? That character, the Fixer. You know, brought her in. And
that's right.
Got that all
nipped
and tucked. But right. I remember my guy at the varsity said, "Yeah, there were dudes just showing up. Hey, we heard there was a fight. You know, we showed up for a fight." But anyway, that thing happened. And I remember they ran a trick play, and they threw a long pass to Flynn.
I'm
like,
and
he came up gimpy.
He faked it. Remember he laid down?
Oh, yeah.
He was trying to get the fake timeout. He was like walking, and like he just like fell down.
Like, who's the backup quarterback? Andrew Hatch.
Yeah. And everybody was like, lay down.
Andrew Hatch from Harvard. So anyway, back to but that press conference that week, Saban referenced Joe Walsh, the Eagles, and said the song. You know that song, "Life's Been Good to Me."
Life's been good to me.
Yeah. He said, you know, you always think the grass is greener on the other side. I mean, he back then said in Tuscaloosa, I shouldn't have left.
Yeah.
You know, it was a mistake I made. I shouldn't have left LSU. Now it's easy. I mean, he won 6 national championships at Alabama, so there's no, you should have stayed. But should he have?
And you even saw Lane yesterday. He was like, "Hey, I don't want to say this because he still lives there."
Yeah.
You know, it was like, I mean, but he
He
coached at a different place.
Right. Well, at the LSU Alabama game this year, I'm up there, you know, stuffing my face, being a little local peon. And Saban walked right in. I was, oh, there he is. And he wearing red, you know, going to his little suite to cheer on Alabama against LSU.
Sure. Meanwhile, telling LSU, hire Lane.
Yeah, you got to think that the sports writer who said it or whatever, he captured it perfectly. Ole Miss's ceiling is LSU's expectation.
I think that was a great way to put it.
Yeah.
That was a great way. And I see the commitment that Ole Miss has made to athletics. And I think that Ole Miss has become a very attractive job to a lot of people out there because of what they have set up with the collective, the priority to spend. They have shown that they will step up and do that. But I think that's such a task every single year to get that motivated, to get that team.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it again. Now we got to do it again.
Yeah, and am I going to invest in Pete Golding like I invested in Lane Kiffin?
Now you got to do it again. And it's just, at LSU, it's here's $30 million, build your roster, win football games.
And Kiffin said yesterday's press conference, pretty confident, bold statement, I have no concerns whatsoever about the NIL and transfer portal and going out and getting guys in the portal. That's not going to be a problem.
I think that's why you hired him. I think that's why his meteoric rise over the last 4 years has been as fast and as strong as it has been because he's mastered the portal. Mm-hmm. He's mastered the recruiting of this. Yeah. He's the one that's been able to. Remember when like names would get out there in recruiting, and you thought Saban's going to get that guy. Saban's going to get that guy.
Yeah.
Now I feel like that with Kiffin. When somebody goes into the portal, when it's a bigger name,
Yeah.
he's going to end up at Ole Miss.
Even guys maybe that he thought couldn't play at Alabama and would wash out, but they were from Louisiana. It's kind of an emotional blow to you that, this guy got out of Louisiana and went to Alabama.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, he would cherry pick LSU's board. Take 2 of their top 10.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we get one. Make sure you get Cam Robinson, Landon Collins. Make sure you get one of them. But let's go get 2. Let's just be a thorn in their side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be somebody that they always have to worry about.
Dylan Moses,
who was committed to him for so many years. He was going to wear number 7. He was the guy.
Yeah.
Right? Go take him from him and see what happens.
Yeah. I think another thing Jordy Kiffin said yesterday that was very poignant and correct was, I'm 50 years old.
Yep.
Nick Saban,
he was 51
when he won the Natty.
Yeah, 03.
In 03.
That's
right. I think they
right.
hired him and he was 48, 49.
48, yep.
Pete Carroll came into his your 50s as a coach can be your prime years.
Yeah.
For Saban, his 60s also. I mean, even in his 70s.
Yeah.
He's one play away from the national championship
still
game.
do it.
Yeah. So I thought that was a great comment by him that, hey, I've learned a lot. I'm 50. Now this could really be my golden years.
I really thought that comment told me, and I know that everybody is lining up to tell LSU you're going to get screwed by this guy. The ending is going to be bad. And it might be.
Yeah.
It probably will be by judging by his past. I can't imagine him leaving here for another college job. Mm-hmm. I think if he makes the move, it might be to the Cowboys, the Giants, to somewhere where he looks at the challenge and says, I want to do this next. But to reiterate your point, he's 51. He's been around the block. He's done this song and dance so many times that now it's become his story. It's kind of become who he is. It's now time to start winning football games. It's now time to start winning games that really matter. So when they do write your legacy, like they wrote your dad's, where he went everywhere, but he won. Mm-hmm. He was a guy that won. They won championships. They played for Super Bowls. Yeah. They were constantly in the mix of playing for it all. It's now time for Lane to get to that position, which I think he's on the doorstep. It feels like he's about to break through, right? Where he's going to get his playoff team. He's going to get his semifinal team, his championship team. A lot like Skip used to talk about the breakthrough. Mm-hmm. You got to get there. You got to fail. You got to get back there. You got to get, you got to punch through. You got to, it feels like Kiffin is right on that doorstep, because if he's not, I think he understands, he knows this is going to be your narrative. This is going to be your story of a guy who just popped around, pissed everybody off, and ultimately didn't win at the highest level. It's now time to win at the highest level.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's going anywhere until he does that consistently here.
Yeah. Well, he's got every tool in the world.
Got it.
As I talked to a prominent member on that staff this year, and he said, man, this place is a sleeping giant. This is a sleeping giant. And perhaps there's no giant in the country that roars and then goes to sleep and roars and goes to sleep like LSU has over the years. And so
I think it goes into so much of leadership. It goes into so much of the people.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that Burge has on his side is that he's seen all of that. He understands when the highs are high, what it takes to make the highs high. And step number one is hire the football coach that brings intrigue to the program. Check. You got him.
He's a celebrity.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows who he is.
He's the biggest name in town.
Yeah, and that's superficial, and that's
he could not live in Brian Kelly's house.
Yeah,
he couldn't do it. People would be knocking on his door. People would be showing up to his house. He couldn't live in the center of town like that. He's going to get hounded at yoga. I mean, he's not going to be able to step out in Baton Rouge. And I think the people of Baton Rouge need to realize with him, he may not be doing the show at TJ Ribs on Wednesday night. He may not be the accessible football coach that you love. He is a celebrity. He does live on a different type of stratosphere than others in this town. And I'm okay with that. I loved when, Saban was having everybody wearing mock turtlenecks. I mean, I love that he was he was the guy.
Yeah.
He was the man in town.
Yeah.
Right?
And he's active on your social media platforms.
Yes.
And, did he handle everything the way he should have?
No.
When he's tweeting pictures of planes and stuff, he knows that the whole world is watching him. Right. And he kind of, 50-year-old Dennis the Menace maybe, or as my boy Jake Crane told me, he's like Tom Hanks in Big. He's like a kid in a grown man's body.
And I had one of the Ole Miss boosters tell me the same exact thing. He said he's just the seventh grade version of himself. He just never he grew up, he matured, he looks like an adult, you know what I mean? He's making all this money, he's at the top, but he's just the seventh grade version of himself.
Yeah. Who knows how to coach football?
He's just a football genius.
Yeah.
And I think there's some truth to that. There's a little bit of, you're right. I mean, there's a little bit of, you can tell he likes a little drama.
Yeah.
He likes, you know what I mean? He likes a little bit to be in the spotlight. And I think, it's very rare.
It's not hurting anybody.
It's not, and it's very rare to find people in this trade that don't like the spotlight. The people that tell you, I don't know, you're like, okay. All right.
Sean Payton loved the spotlight.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. But made you believe we don't like the media. Okay, well then let's not let the media show up tomorrow, Sean, and see how you react.
You guys this and you guys that.
Listen. Listen. Like,
there was the father from Family Ties. He used to do those PSA ads about highway railroad crossings. He said, look, listen, and live. Every time I'd hear him, I'd think about that. Look, listen. And he would squint.
And all of Sean Payton's guys talk just like him. Like Dennis Allen. If you went to a Dennis Allen press conference, you listen to Joe Brady speak, listen.
Yeah,
look,
Drew Brees would say the same.
Drew Brees.
Like, look, guys, listen, guys.
Same thing. You can tell. That's a good leader.
Yeah.
That's a good leader. I mean, he's got everybody around him.
Peyton doing pretty well with the Broncos right now. So
best defense in the league,
I haven't really watched. I just saw up on the screen there. They're 9-2, I think.
Jamar Cain's group leading the league in sacks, second year in the league.
Jamar Cain got out and said some about Matt House the other day. How about that?
Matt House and Brian Kelly. I mean, I don't think Jamar Cain was treated fairly by those guys. I mean, if you look at the way that Cain has had success since his time in Baton Rouge, I think it speaks for itself.
Well, and you referenced 2023. So I think this is kind of an inverse in which in 2023, Kelly got rid of the entire defensive staff. 25 right now. Lane Kiffin's strength is LSU's weakness. The offense was horrific to watch this year. I mean, I'm at the Oklahoma game. I'm like, well, they might steal this game 13-10, give up the bomb late. They don't score a touchdown at Alabama. Early in the year, they start 4-0. It's like, well, maybe they can win ugly all year on defense, and that wasn't the case. So I have no idea who the quarterback's going to be at LSU.
Trinidad Chambliss.
Trinidad Chambliss. Is he going to come over?
I don't know. I mean,
and
that's
play?
That is to me. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I was saying hire Lane Kiffin because you'll always have a quarterback. I think that you'll always have a quarterback under him, whether he's 5'9" like Trinidad Chambliss or he's 6'4" like Austin Simmons. You're going to have a dude, and you're going to have somebody who the coaching staff trusts, who is developed, who is coached up, who knows what they're looking at, and is going to give you a chance to win. Because as we've seen this past season, you don't have a quarterback, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are or where you're efficient.
Yeah.
If you don't have that position.
Kiffin said at his press conference, scheme will not overcome
bad players.
Lack of talent.
That's right. Nobody's scheme works with bad players. I mean, I think that's the Saban rule. Like, guys, we can be difficult, we can coach this thing up, but we got to be doing it with dogs. Yep. I mean, we got to be doing it with guys that can play on Sunday, and I think that's got to be one of the biggest attractions of LSU to a coach that's coming in from the outside. Of like, look at that rock, look at the guys. Look at the dudes. And we only have to drive an hour from the facility to go get them.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go east, west, south. We don't have to go that far, and we can build this roster right here.
Yeah.
And there's no Mississippi State to the Ole Miss. There's no Auburn to the Alabama. There's no Florida State, Miami to the Florida. There's no Georgia Tech to the Georgia. There's no A&M to the Texas and the Texas Tech, who's now a player over there. You know what I mean? There's none of that.
And not to pile on Brian Kelly and incite people. But you told me a story of this year, you're riding your bike around the lakes of LSU on an LSU Florida game day, and you drive by the head coach's house and you see him in his driveway.
I would always talk about this when I did the show. I love getting up on big game mornings and riding my bike out to LSU. I'll go park somewhere in a neighborhood close. I'll go usually park at like St. Aloysius, or go park at the lakes, or go park somewhere and just jump on my bike and just start riding. And I rode through campus on the morning of the LSU Florida game and got all the sights, the smells, the sounds, and it was awesome. It was a big game day. And on my way back, I was riding the lakes, and Jacques, it must have been 12:30, conservatively, somewhere in that window, lunchtime.
Yeah.
And Kelly is walking from his front door to the gate of his property. I don't know if he's watering flowers or checking the mail or doing something, but he's leisurely on a beautiful Saturday in the fall, just kind of like taking it in. And I'm like, I'm like, big one today, huh, coach? Like, he's like, and he kind of like looks, he's like, Jordy? And I'm like, yes, sir. I'm like, go get him tonight. He's like, yes, sir, we got a big one, like kind of like, and I'm like, thinking to myself, like, man, not only is he out here in front of, like, he got no concern. Like, he's not trying to be,
I don't want anyone seeing
hat
me on
down,
game day.
hoodie on, like he was. And I just think I'm not piling on him either. I think, he came, he saw, he didn't work out, and he got his money. But this was a cash grab for him. This was something he looked at in this point in his career where, Jacques, the signs were there. Like, if you go back to it, I remember Hannegriff.
Exactly. I'm glad you said it, because I told Hannegriff that yesterday.
I remember
Hannegriff was right when he's like, where's the coach?
Where is he? I remember I ran into him one time. It was like he had this press. They announced he was the coach.
Yep.
It took him like 2 weeks to have the press conference.
No, it was immediate.
But then you never saw him.
Didn't see him after that. Like on signing day, typically, and I'm wondering, I don't know if Kiffin's going to meet with us again tomorrow.
I'm sure, but he'll be there. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be there working. And you would be like, where's the...
You got a new head coach. You invested a lot of money in him.
Where is he?
Shouldn't you be, like, pushing him, getting him out? And there was one press conference, and he vanished.
He vanished. And then that was the biggest storyline of him, was that no matter who you talk to at what level, in the building, out of the building, that was connected to LSU football, the first point would be, he's never there.
Yeah.
He's never there.
Right.
And I don't care how accomplished you are in the sport of football, there's only one way to be effective. And you have to be around. They have to see you. They have to learn to trust you, because when it comes time to those moments, and you could see where, like, there was that shot that I believe either you or Cobble got of him and Garrett Nussmeier on the sideline against A&M, where they just didn't they
They brushed him off.
Like, they had no relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
and it becomes a problem where the special teams guy that he went off on in A&M.
Yep.
From what I was told, Brian Kelly just did not go to the special teams meetings.
Exactly.
He wasn't part of that. He wasn't. And then when you show up on game day and you chew a guy out and you're not part of the process, I think that becomes an issue. Now, look, in my little peon job, knocking on 50, I'm not going to go out and stand in the cold and shoot high school soccer anymore like I did when I was 30 or whatever. So there's certain things when you get Brian Kelly's status that you no longer do, but there's certain things that you need to do as the head coach.
But there's the responsibility of the sports director to make sure that the 30-year-old who's going to see the high school game knows what he's doing, and that what his objective is, right? Like, it seemed like Kelly was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and then bullied the guy.
Yeah, and then like, well, he's jumping off sides. Well, yeah, you prick, you weren't here all week. You know what I mean? Like, we've been working on that. We hadn't quite got it yet. I mean, it was a cash grab. I mean, and
from what I was told, they went to him in October of 21. No, come back with him with this ludicrous contract, and I think it was Polian that said, Coach, you got to go. You got to take this opportunity. And, to your point, he's going to look back and say, wow, look at the opportunity I had.
Especially if Kiffin reels off a couple.
Yeah.
Early. Because in today's world, you can do that.
And in Brian Kelly's defense, NIL and all this stuff were parallel to him getting to LSU. And but it certainly looked like they supported him this year with $20 million in the roster.
Right.
And went out and got your A.J. Halseys and your Monster Delanes and
the big defensive end and
Patrick Payton and
Patrick Payton. Even Nick Anderson, the wide receiver from Oklahoma. I know he didn't pan out, but these guys were in the portal. Those were big names.
Yeah, Berrien Brown.
You were beating Alabama, Ole Miss, Florida State, people that were obviously out there spending. You were setting the standard for.
And I've said it before. He was good to us in the media. We never got as much access as we got, and that means probably not as much to the fan, obviously. But we got to go out and watch him practice and watch him scrimmage and do things we hadn't seen in 25 years for the most part here. And for a sports guy in the summer trying to fill sportscast, I appreciate
Beautiful
that.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought he was good in press conferences. He gave me some one-on-ones, and I'd see him in public. He'd tell you hello and was pretty cordial. He was a lot nicer than I expected watching the guy from Notre Dame. And I think LSU did their best to kind of polish that image a bit. Hey, Coach, you come across as being a bit gruff, and you're in the South. But that's the thing, too, Jordy. And look, they can say things about me, Jordy Culotta, and just say, well, that's just the way he is. But that was just the way he was.
No doubt.
He had no interest in standing by a gumbo where people were cooking and just try to play along for a little while. Yeah.
Fake it for an hour.
The coaches show, let the kid walk up and take a picture
Move
with you.
the rope. Knock that rope down.
The state troopers and all that. They always have that. I know he's a head football coach. Yeah, got to keep the crazies away. But there is kind of a window of be a Louisiana guy.
Right. Or just be accessible, man. It comes with a certain accessibility where you don't have to have the line of people come sit on your lap and take a picture, but smile and say, go Tigers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's.
And if he would have won, that all wouldn't have mattered.
Definitely.
People would have said.
I think that's what's going to happen with this guy.
Yeah. They would have said, hey, Jordy, if he wants to be in his lawn at 1 o'clock on game day, that's his business.
You know what? And if he's playing this weekend, or if he's playing in the SEC title game, or if he's got his team in the playoffs, I don't even tell the story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's not even a big deal.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
it's relevant.
Yeah.
When you're not having success, it's relevant. There were a lot of things Saban did that if he was not being successful,
100%. We're not doing it like that.
Oh yeah, the patience would have been a lot. This guy.
I mean, you think you can run? You think you can run Bear Bryant's son off at Alabama if you're not winning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you think you can tell that guy, hey, man, your key card is suspended.
I was hanging out with Jimmy Ott the other day at Superior on
Hey,
Highland.
lock of the week.
Lock of the week. And Ott said something very poignant. He said, Nick Saban is the most underpaid coach in the history of college football. If you look at Alabama's enrollment,
if you look at the sponsorships, go look at Tuscaloosa.
From what it was.
I mean, I remember going to Tuscaloosa in 05 with Jamarcus and Dwayne Bowe and those guys, and it was a one-horse town.
Yeah.
You go there now, I mean, there's bike paths around the lake, there's construction everywhere. That's Nick Saban.
Yeah. The day of the game, I was getting my little wimpy workout in at the hotel. I strike up a conversation with this man. My daughter goes to Alabama. Oh, yeah, where are you from? We're from New Jersey. New York. I mean,
no doubt about it.
They want to go. Young people want to go where it's happening.
100%. 100%.
And
I remember Saban and Emmert, I heard for the first time say, and it just light but click, the front step to your university, the front porch to your university is the football.
It's the patio to your it's the front porch to the university.
That's right. But it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at LSU after 03,
yes.
I mean, out-of-state enrollment just.
Yeah. And Verge yesterday in his one-on-one with us, he said he remembered going back to when Skip was the athletic director and had to hire a football coach. And Verge said, I told Skip, those 5 national championships you won, they're all great. But if you screw up this football hire,
nobody's going to remember them.
they're just not going to be as important as they were.
That's right.
Before if you screw up this hire.
You won't be introduced as national championship coach Skip Bertman, former athletic director Skip Bertman.
Well, I think certainly when they introduced him as the AD at one of those celebrations, the applause was not what it used to be.
That's right.
And Herb Vincent told me a good story one time. They just hired Joe Oliva, one of your favorites. I am the search. Yeah. Joe Oliva. At a spring game, just hired him. They brought him out and they said, ladies and gentlemen, your athletic director, Joe Oliva, and everyone cheered. And Herb said, that is the loudest these people are ever going to cheer for you again. Because you're in a kind of a thankless job.
That's right.
To an extent, you're the principal.
That's right.
You
And that job, and that job has just gotten even more demanding. I mean, to think about the job that Joe Oliva took, his biggest concern was replacing windows in Tiger Stadium when he got here.
I remember Skip saying, "Ooh, I did all the work. Okay, the next guy, he's got nothing to do." Because Skip was the one that implemented TAF fees.
The charges on the tickets.
I fell on the spear, okay? I did all that. So
I needed all 5 of them.
I know we need to wrap up and story time and all that, but I remember Nick Saban calling a press conference in the middle of the summer, and the whole purpose was for him to gripe about there was no TAF fees on the tickets and all that. So we need to do this.
Yeah. Is that when he lectured him about, like, if you want to play with the big dog, if you want to run with the big teams, this is the stuff you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and everybody was like,
but Coach, you just won the SEC championship.
yeah.
I think it was after 01 when they won. When
We
they
had a little
upset.
clout. He had a little clout.
Yeah. Upset Tennessee and all that, and beat Illinois in the Sugar Bowl. So, well, this will be fun to cover. I mean, it's never boring over here. And just when you say, okay, things are going to settle down, something's going to happen.
100%.
Something else going to pop up.
100%.
But now the staff, and who does he keep? Does Frank Wilson stick around? Does Blake Baker stick around? Does Blake Baker become the head coach at Tulane? Mm-hmm. Corey Raymond? I mean, I know for a fact that DJ Pickett is here because of Corey Raymond.
100%.
And if Raymond is not here, Pickett's not going to be here. I don't want to say that, but I got a good feeling that Pickett's going to leave if Corey Raymond's not here. I think is what I've been told. Maybe not. We'll see.
Did you see the tweet that Mansour Delane put out a couple of weeks ago?
Maybe.
Thank Corey Raymond for saving my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, like, Mansour was probably like a 3rd to 5th round pick going into the season. He'd be the top cornerback selected off the board.
Yeah. You talk about a dog in a season that
he's the best DB. Best DB in the game. He deserves the Thorpe Award. I don't know if he'll get it.
3 semifinalists, and he's one of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just a.
Yes. He looks like DBU.
Yeah.
He looks like Pickett.
Yeah. Made a big interception in the first game against Clemson.
No coincidence that Corey Raymond's back around and your guys look like pros again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not coincidence.
Yeah. I hope she didn't mind me sharing this story, but Pickett's mother, we know the same circle of friends, and one day I was like, I said, can you imagine being Derek Stingley, being 24 years old and having $90 million guaranteed, and she didn't even blink? Yep.
We better.
That's why we're here.
That's right.
One of the reasons why we're here.
That's right.
This guy will get me to the league.
He's a dog, man. Pickett's a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it in him. He's got it. LSU, that's the thing about LSU. I mean, they still have these – you look around, and it's like, hey, man, they're not that far off, right? I mean, I think the offensive line coach is going to be a huge hire. I mean, the offensive line has been a big head scratcher.
I really like Brad Davis.
Me too.
Baton Rouge guy. This is a job he wanted. Works hard.
Yeah.
Whatever has not gone right there.
And I don't get that. I mean, because I'm with you. I've always thought the world of Davis, especially from a recruiting standpoint. It's not the players. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Emory Jones made his debut last week. Campbell obviously got hurt, but was maybe the best rookie left tackle in the league.
And I know it's been 25 years, but Brad Davis was a starting offensive lineman on a national championship Oklahoma team.
That's right.
And you go out to practice, and he is tiny next to these guys. I mean, they are 6'7", 6'8", physically. I mean, they look physically imposing.
Yeah.
Strength and conditioning, that's another.
Yeah.
I
saw he got on the plane.
Yeah, he's bringing this guy over. I kind of put out some feelers to Moffitt. Hey, come back.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of hearing, well, it looks like he's got his own guy.
Right.
So, and Tommy's happy at A&M. They've taken care of him.
Yeah. I mean, that was an easy hire for Elko. I mean, I remember Elko explaining it like, as soon as I got it, I was like, give me a list of the strength. And he was like, wait, Tommy Moffitt's available? Like, get him.
Yeah, that's a storyline in itself. There was a lot of, in 2021, a lot of guys getting hurt and tapping out, and the games pass Moffitt by, and, he's washed or whatever, and maybe not.
A&M looks pretty physical.
Yeah, in the 2 games against LSU, they certainly spanked them both games in college. Well, anything else? This has been an awesome conversation. I know people will people watching this will love hearing from you after so much time. I mean, great to have you here on our platform is the way people can hear you for the first time in a while.
It's great to be here. Obviously, you and I have kept up our relationship, real friends, and have kept up with, just kind of going back and forth. But it's great to be here with you on this platform to just kind of talk about it. It's an exciting time. at LSU. You know, I mean, this is if I do miss it, these are the times where I do miss having the outlet of just being able to get on and talk about what's going on at LSU, because these are usually the fun times where things really start to kind of develop, bloom, happen in front of your face. So obviously you've done a great job of keeping up with it and being able to follow it. So love to see you, my dude.
Well, great to see you. We both worship Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf now. We both will go on YouTube for 30 minutes and watch Chris Jackson highlights from LSU.
Easily.
And Ricky Blanton and Tommy Hodson and Wendell Davis and Harvey Williams.
Tony Moss.
I had a great conversation with Mike Archer the other day.
I saw it.
Great dude.
God, it was a beautiful conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it went down like that. Like him telling that story.
Yeah, I was talking to even Bill Franquez yesterday about it. He's like, we really didn't fire Mike Archer. He just kind of
withered away.
It's too far gone. I'm not coming back almost, you know. And so it sounds like he could have been back in 1991 if he wanted to be.
Right.
It's kind of like, I don't know, your old lady. You feel like she's talking to other dudes, but I'm with you. But it was kind of like, no, you formed a search committee.
Yeah, right.
And so you obviously aren't happy
not down
with
me.
Yeah. And it was apparently BRZ, Bruce Weber at the time, broke the story, and Archer talking about, practice ended. I saw a bunch of live trucks out there. I'm like, Herb, what's going on? Well, there's a report out. Well, what do I say? Well, I'm not sure about that. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Herb.
Herb's great. Herb does a great job. I heard from Herb as well. It's like, he said, Mike remembers that a little bit differently than what I remember. Herb was the ultimate professional. They missed him sometimes over the years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was.
If you watch the Earthquake game, and at the end when they're interviewing Archer on the field,
Chris Fowler,
there's Herb's right behind him.
Yeah.
Herb looks like he's 17 years old.
Herb's baby face are in all of those highlights from the 80, like some of our favorite teams. You go back and watch those 87, 80. Herb's all in he's all around it.
Yeah.
You know?
He was he'd been there a long time and did a great job. And I love talking. I mean, Earthquake game is like one of those deals where you're talking about that again, but they're like, no, I am talking about that again. Right. And
October 8th.
1988.
1988.
4th and 9, Willie Williams.
Willie Williams had run the same play 2 times before. First down, he dropped it. Third down, he was out of bounds.
Yep.
And they got the first down. Willie Williams caught. They converted 2 4th downs on the drive.
Correct.
Willie Williams caught one. He got up and he was banging his head.
The late Mike Patrick.
Mike Patrick
passed away. He was doing play-by-play. Kevin Kiley was the color guy.
Kevin Kiley.
And I think Patrick initially in that play said,
"He's
Halliburton. Can he get the first down?"
Right.
Oh, excuse me. It's Willie Williams.
Kevin, and then
unlikely hero.
Klein says, Halliburton's 250 pounds. Willie Williams 265 pounds. That 15 pounds may have made the difference.
Exactly.
Because he got 2 yards. That was a great call.
Here's your 25 pounds. He needs 2 yards.
That's right. He goes, there's your 2 yards.
Yeah. And a couple, and I meant to tell us to Archer, and we ran out of time, but I was like, 2 important footnotes. The extra point. By Browndyke, who I don't think David Browndyke ever missed an extra point at LSU. He made them all.
I think for a while he was the leading scorer in Tiger football history.
Yeah, I think you're right. But there's no overtime at the time. Wow. So if he misses it and it's 6-6, then it could end up a tie, like Ohio State the year before in Tiger Stadium.
And you go back and watch that game, that Auburn defense was...
The late Ruffin Rodrigue and then Mickey Guidry still with us, obviously. Both said, I don't know how we're going to get 5 yards this whole game against these guys.
Tracy Rocker was the defensive line. Alec Ogletree, if you remember Ogletree, Tommy Hodson tried to slip out of the pocket one time, and Ogletree grabbed him by his, I think Patrick says, Ogletree got him by his hangnail.
Hangnail.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean,
and I joke with Hodson about that. Hodson's like,
and Hodson's head, like, boom!
Yeah.
Just hits the turf.
Yeah. Hodson's like, I wasn't too much on weightlifting back then or whatever. I mean, when Tommy got there, he was like 165. I think by the time he left, they had got him up to like 195, maybe 205.
You remember those gray T-shirts they used to wear?
Yeah.
And it said LSU football, and it had the football, and it had number 13 in it.
Yeah.
Remember, he would wear that under the jersey. And if you remember, the sleeves were like, they couldn't grip his arm.
Oh.
I mean, like, they were like.
He was too small?
Yeah, his arms were like this coming out of the sleeve. I mean.
Yeah. I remember Mickey Guidry saying when he showed up, I don't know how this guy's going to make it. He's too skinny. They're going to kill him. But the extra point, and Ruffin said, and then Tommy always would say, well, Ruffin never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Sure, that's it.
But Ruffin was like, I'm the only person who truly knows that the earth shook because a split second, Tommy's getting killed, the pass isn't getting off. He goes, I was laying on the ground,
That's
and
right.
I felt the earth shake when Eddie caught the ball. Right. And then second, the defense got put on the field with 1:41 left. I mean,
Did they pick a pass off, didn't it?
they went for it on fourth down.
Yeah.
Reggie Slack, the quarterback,
right,
threw
Reggie
across
Slack.
incomplete.
That's right.
And Ron Sancho, like that.
Big
Ron
Ron.
Sancho, like the guy who did not look like a
No.
linebacker.
An all SEC.
All SEC line.
linebacker.
Eric Hill looked like a
Eric
linebacker.
Hill looked like it. Yeah, Eric Hill looked like it. Daryl Phillips was on that team.
Daryl Phillips, nose guard.
was on that team. Tommy Clapp,
Tommy Clapp, and Verge Alsbury.
Burge Alsbury.
Linebacker.
With the orange neck roll.
That's right. Yeah, I talked to Verge about that game. Well, they only had to score one time. We're out there the whole game. Only had to score one touchdown.
Well, they didn't cross midfield until the fourth quarter. It was a terrible game.
That's
It
what
was a
Eddie Fuller, who caught the pass,
terrible,
told me.
terrible game.
Jock, I watched that game. It was a boring game. And I joked with Archer about that. He goes, no. Archer's like, no, it's a great game.
Well, defensive coordinator.
Defensive coach, yeah. Like, Orange Sparger, disciple, and all that. Yeah. But one of the most exciting finishes, we'll say.
Without question.
They didn't score a touchdown.
Back when everybody would stay to the end.
Yeah.
You think everybody stays to the end of that game today?
Good question. I don't know, and it's not me pointing the finger at.
I'm not either. I'm just curious.
Every time we talk about stuff like this, it's my job to describe what's out there. I'm not taking shots at people for leaving early, or whatever. I'm just telling you the way it is. I mean, I remember even Curly Hallman days when they 60,000 or whatever. They said most of those people are like, well, I paid money. I'm gonna stay.
Yeah. I mean,
Why am I getting
can't
out of
watch it
that?
on my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
You would sit there and Dan Barnett would give you the score.
100%.
You'd be waiting on, well, what's the score of the Miami game?
Yeah.
The Miami-Florida State game? Who won?
Right.
You couldn't do this, and those announcements were important back then. You stayed to the end. You listened to the game. If you were in traffic, you listened to the post-game show. My wonderful grandfather, J.B. Holly. I don't understand why people drive all the way down from Monroe and Shreveport for an LSU game and leave at halftime. Why would you do that?
That's wild. I mean, I don't even understand driving from Highland Road or like deep onto Highland Road. I mean, what you gonna fight all the traffic, do all this stuff, and you gonna leave?
You talk about LSU football 365. You got 7 home games.
8 if you're lucky.
Yep.
4 that only really matter. That are only really good ones.
Yeah. Well, that's like Haniger says. A winning record's not 8-4 because let's be honest. You and I could go coach the team.
Sure.
The laundry, as he says, the uniform wins some of those rental wins.
Yeah.
The other games, when it's me against that guy, and we got pretty much the same talent, who's going to come through?
Now it feels great that LSU's got the guy on
Yeah.
the sideline that he's going to be up scheming. They're going to be prepared. They're going to have a plan that really attacks the weakness of the other team. And more than anything, they're going to get the players that mean the most the ball. Like if Lane Kiffin's offense does anything, it puts the ball in the hands of the playmakers.
Harlan Berry's not going to carry for 17 yards and then
man.
disappear?
Right, exactly. I mean, if Harlan Berry has first halves like he did against, like he's not disappearing.
Yeah.
I mean, those are guys that's what I love about Kiffin, is his approach is honest. His approach is transparent to a degree. His offense is just like that. It's not overthink. I mean, he's a run-heavy offense. You think he's this spread, beat you, throw it down.
Right.
If the run game is working, he is going to pound you into oblivion.
Right.
Like he is going to run it right at you. And if you can't stop it, he's going to do it all day.
Yeah.
He's going to do it all day.
Yeah. Well, similar to Spurrier. A lot of people thought
Absolutely.
Spurrier, throw. Oh, no, we got Fred Taylor back
Absolutely.
here. We're running the ball.
And you can't stop it, we're lining up. I'm going to tell you what we're running.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to line up, and I'm going to tell you what I'm running, and you cannot stop it.
And like a boxer,
Yep.
Kiffin, jab, jab, jab. Fourth quarter, I'm waiting for the jab up.
Yep.
Here comes the haymaker. I thought it was going here. It's going there. That type of thing. He sets you up
He does.
in the future. All right, let's end there. This was wonderful.
Awesome. As
Jordy,
usual.
great to see you. We will
dude.
do this again, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I think I can't predict as I'm sitting here, but I think that people watching certainly enjoyed hearing from you.
Thank you.
And we certainly need to bring you back here. We've got plenty to talk about here in Baton Rouge. Jordy Culotta, the great Jordy Culotta. I'm Jacques Doucet. We'll see you later.